What's up guys, my name is Ace, and in the spirit of Christmas, where a lot of people are going to be getting Black Ops 3 for the very first time, I'm going to be sharing my top 4 specialist power weapons and abilities for a beginner player. These recommendations are based on, first off, the ability to unlock them instantly, so these are going to be based on just the specialist characters that you have access to right from the get-go. You don't have to level up to earn them. And also, it's going to be based on ease of use, as well as how much I feel it's going to help a beginner player in the game. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the very first one that I'm going to be talking about is the gravity spikes. And a lot of the more experienced players are probably going to get mad at me for telling you guys to use gravity spikes because a lot of people see it as cheap, but it's simply the easiest way to get kills with a specialist weapon, in my opinion. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill to use, and if you're a beginner player, you need all the advantages you can get. The thing with the gravity spikes is you basically just get in close to enemies, and then you activate them by pressing the two buttons, the LB and RB, or L1 and R1 on PS4. You basically just press those two buttons, and you kill anyone in a 360-degree radius to you, and it's a pretty large radius. So, gravity spikes, for a beginner player, if you're really not confident in your skills, I would say this is the easiest to use and will get you the most kills for somebody that's not confident with their aim or ability to predict enemy movement. So that's my number one recommendation there. Next, we're going to have a look at Vision Pulse. This one's actually an ability, so it's not going to be directly earning you kills, but it's great if you don't really have that map knowledge and you can't really understand what's going on around you very well, you're still learning the maps. Vision Pulse can be great for this. What happens is when you activate this, it will actually put out a pulse in a 360-degree radius, and it's a pretty large radius as well, and anybody within that radius that's on the enemy team will get marked, and when they get marked, you can actually see them through walls as well as on the mini-map. This is just great if you're not really confident with what's going on around you, you're a little bit nervous, and you want to know where your enemies are around you. Activate this Vision Pulse, it will mark all those enemies, you'll be able to see them through walls. One thing to be aware of though is when you activate this, you do appear as a blip on your enemy's minimap. So if you're against players that really know what they're doing and they're really watching their minimap, they'll be able to pinpoint your exact location as you activate it. So just be aware of that. When you activate it, you probably don't want to be sitting still because they'll know exactly where you are. The next one that I want to recommend does take a little bit more skill. I would say a lot more skill than the gravity spikes, but it can also be very rewarding if you're relatively confident at aiming and shooting your enemies. And this is the Tempest. So the Tempest is like a lightning gun, we'll just call it. And when you shoot an enemy with it, it does have a little bit of a charge up time. So when you pull the trigger, it actually has to charge up before firing the shot. So it doesn't shoot instantly. So you have to be able to stay on target and track your target as you shoot them. But when you hit your enemy, after about 3 seconds after they've been hit, it's obviously going to kill them. They're already dead. But after 3 seconds, if any other enemies come within a certain area of that person that's being shocked to death, they will get arced to, and they will also die. So you can shoot one player, and then if 3 or 4 other players crowd around that body, you will get a quad feed from that. It is just ridiculous. And that's why I recommend this, simply because there is so much potential for awesome kill streaks, awesome feeds, and things like that. And as long as you can handle aiming and shooting your enemies, I highly recommend giving this a go and just getting used to the charge up time. That's something that does take some skill. I would say that's the thing that makes this pretty difficult to use for somebody that's a beginner, but once you get used to that charge up time, it is very rewarding to use the Tempest. And then finally, another one that's really easy to use and has a lot of potential for kills is the War Machine. This one doesn't have a charge up time, you basically just shoot it, it's a grenade launcher, and it will blow up your enemies. If you hit them directly, they will explode and it looks really cool, but it can be more rewarding, especially if you have multiple enemies, to shoot the grenade so it lands just in front of them. When this happens, when it hits the ground, it actually separates into 3 grenades. And those 3 grenades will split up and they can kill multiple enemies in this way. So if you've got multiple enemies stacked up together, aim just in front of their feet and it will hit the ground, split up, and it will kill all of them. This one's very simple to use, and I would say it's great for beginners that are still struggling with the basics of the game. So there you have it. Those are my top 4 beginner specialist power weapons and abilities to use in Black Ops 3. I'm not saying you can't use the other ones that are unlocked by default, like Kinetic Armor, Glitch, and the Sparrow. I just find they aren't really going to be helping you as much as the ones that I've mentioned. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.